Hello there. We are thrilled to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us today for this special Bible story. We have put a lot of effort into making this video, and we hope you enjoy every moment. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us and helps us create more inspiring content. Stay with us until the very end, and may you be blessed as you watch. Enjoy the video. The story of Daniel. Long ago, in the days when kings ruled vast empires, the land of Judah was conquered by the mighty Babylonian king, Nebuchadnezzar. Soldiers stormed the city of Jerusalem, carrying off treasures from the temple of God, and taking many young men captive. Among these captives was a young boy named Daniel. He was far from home, stripped of his freedom, and forced to live in a land of strange gods and foreign customs. Daniel was not alone. 3 of his closest friends, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, were taken with him. The Babylonians gave them new names: Belteshazzar, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. In Babylon, they were chosen to serve in the royal court, trained in the language, wisdom, and culture of their captors. When the king's servants set before them rich foods and wine from the royal table, Daniel's heart trembled. He knew this food was forbidden by God's law. To eat it would mean breaking the covenant of his people. Bravely, Daniel requested to eat only vegetables and drink only water. The officials feared the king's wrath if Daniel grew weak, but Daniel asked for a test. After 10 days, he and his friends appeared stronger and healthier than all the others. God honored their faithfulness, and he filled them with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. To Daniel, he gave an extraordinary gift: the ability to understand dreams and visions. One night, King Nebuchadnezzar awoke in terror. A dream had disturbed his spirit, yet the details slipped from his memory. Restless and furious, he summoned his magicians, astrologers, and wise men. "Tell me my dream," he demanded, "and give me the meaning." The wise men trembled. "No man on earth can reveal such a thing. Only the gods could tell the dream." Nebuchadnezzar's face twisted in rage. "Then you are all frauds. If you cannot tell me, you will all be put to death." The decree went out, and the lives of all the wise men of Babylon, including Daniel and his friends, were in danger. But Daniel did not despair. He gathered his friends and prayed earnestly to God. That night, the mystery was revealed to him in a vision. At dawn, he stood before the king. "There is a God in heaven," Daniel declared, "who reveals secrets. And he has shown you what will take place in the future." Daniel described the dream: a colossal statue, its head of pure gold, its chest of silver, its belly of bronze, its legs of iron, and its feet a mixture of iron and clay. Suddenly, a stone not cut by human hands struck the statue, shattering it to pieces. The stone grew into a great mountain that filled the whole earth. "This," Daniel explained, "is the meaning: you, O king, are the head of gold. After you will arise other kingdoms, each inferior to the one before. Finally, there will be a divided kingdom, strong as iron but fragile as clay. And in the days of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed. It will crush all others and endure forever." Nebuchadnezzar fell to the ground in awe. "Surely your God is the God of gods and the Lord of kings," he declared. From that day, Daniel was honored above all the wise men of Babylon. But Daniel's friends soon faced a terrifying trial. Nebuchadnezzar, filled with pride, erected a massive golden statue, 90 feet tall, gleaming in the sunlight. He commanded that all people, at the sound of music, bow down and worship it. "Whoever refuses," he warned, "will be thrown into a blazing furnace." At the appointed time, the music sounded, and the crowds fell on their faces before the idol. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego stood tall. They refused to bow to a false god. When the king heard, his fury erupted. "Is it true," he roared, "that you will not serve my gods or worship the image I have set up? Bow now, or you will be thrown into the furnace. Then what god will be able to rescue you from my hand?" The 3 young men answered with unshakable courage. "O king, we do not need to defend ourselves before you. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us." But even if he does not, know this, we will not serve your gods or worship your image." Nebuchadnezzar's face twisted with rage. "Heat the furnace 7 times hotter," he commanded. Soldiers seized the men and hurled them into the inferno. The fire was so fierce that the flames leapt out and consumed the very soldiers who carried them. The king leaned forward, peering into the flames. Suddenly his face went pale. "Did we not throw 3 men into the fire? Look. I see 4 men walking freely, unharmed. And the fourth looks like a son of the gods." The king's voice shook as he called them out. To the astonishment of all, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego emerged without a single burn, not even the smell of smoke on their clothes. Nebuchadnezzar fell to his knees. "Praise be to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. No other God can save in this way." Years passed, and Nebuchadnezzar's son, Belshazzar, ruled Babylon. Proud and reckless, he threw a great feast, inviting 1,000 nobles. In drunken arrogance, he ordered the sacred vessels from God's temple to be brought, and he and his guests drank wine from them while praising idols of gold and silver. But suddenly, the revelry was pierced by terror. A mysterious hand appeared, floating in the air, and began writing on the plaster of the palace wall. The music stopped. The laughter died. Belshazzar's face turned white, his knees trembled, and his body shook with fear. "Bring in the wise men," he cried. "Whoever can read this writing and tell me what it means shall be clothed in purple, given a gold chain, and made 3rd ruler in the kingdom." But none could read it. The hall was filled with silence and dread. Then the queen spoke. "There is a man in your kingdom who has the spirit of the holy gods in him, Daniel. He can interpret mysteries." Daniel was brought before the king. Belshazzar promised him wealth and honor, but Daniel refused. "Keep your gifts," he said. Then he turned to the wall and read. Mene, tekel, parsin. "This is the meaning," Daniel declared. Mean, God has numbered the days of your reign and brought it to an end. Tekel, you have been weighed in the balance and found wanting. Parsin, your kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. The words struck terror in Belshazzar's heart. And that very night, the prophecy came true. The city was invaded, Belshazzar was slain, and the kingdom of Babylon fell to the Medes and Persians. Under the rule of King Darius, Daniel once again rose to a place of high authority. His wisdom and honesty made him trusted above all others, and soon the king planned to set him over the entire kingdom. But envy festered among the governors. They searched for some faults in Daniel but found none. At last, they conspired together. The only way we can trap him is through his devotion to his God. So they flattered the king and proposed a law: for 30 days, no one may pray to any god or man except the king. Whoever disobeys will be thrown into the den of lions. Darius, not seeing their plot, signed the decree. But Daniel was not afraid. As he had always done, he went to his upper room, opened the windows toward Jerusalem, and 3 times a day, he knelt in prayer. His enemies watched and pounced, rushing to the king with their accusation. Though Darius loved Daniel, the law of the Medes and Persians could not be changed. With a heavy heart, he ordered Daniel cast into the lion's den. "May your God, whom you serve continually, rescue you," he whispered. The den was sealed with a stone. All night, the king fasted and could not sleep, tormented by dread. At dawn, he hurried to the den and cried out, his voice trembling, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God rescued you from the lions?" And then from the darkness came a voice. "O king, live forever. My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not harmed me, because I was found innocent before him." Darius was overjoyed. Daniel was lifted from the den without a single scratch. But those who had plotted against him were thrown into the den instead, and before they even touched the floor, the lions overpowered them. The king issued a decree to all peoples: the God of Daniel is the living God. His kingdom will not be destroyed, and his dominion will never end. In his later years, Daniel continued to receive visions from God. He saw mighty beasts rising from the sea, each representing kingdoms of the earth. He saw thrones set in place, and the Ancient of Days seated in blazing glory, surrounded by fire. He saw one like a son of man coming with the clouds of heaven, receiving everlasting dominion and glory. These visions troubled Daniel, for they spoke of wars, suffering, and kings yet to come. But the message remained clear: earthly empires may rise and fall, but the kingdom of God will endure forever. The life of Daniel is a story of faith unshaken by fear. Torn from his homeland, surrounded by foreign gods, threatened by fire, haunted by lions, Daniel stood firm. He refused to compromise, he prayed when it was dangerous, and he trusted God when hope seemed lost. From the fiery furnace to the lion's den, from the mysterious dream to the terrifying writing on the wall, Daniel's story shows that God is sovereign. He is with his people in the darkest moments, shutting the mouths of lions and walking with them in the flames. Kingdoms rise and kingdoms fall, but God's kingdom lasts forever. And like Daniel, we too are called to stand faithful, no matter the cost.